We're using the investigative cases that we've built on these individuals in that area to go out and after the worst of the worst. We're going after people who've committed robberies, assaults, DUIs, getting them off the streets, keeping people safe. That is exactly what the leadership in the city should be partnering with us on, and what the governor should be as well.
So that from last night, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem with Jesse touting a successful immigration crackdown in Charlotte, North Carolina, despite ramped up resistance from protesters like scenes here. So that was on Sunday, happened at a construction site. Demonstrators following agents hoping to derail Operation Charlotte's Web, as it is called. Still, it resulted in 130 arrests in only 2 days. White House border czar Tom Homan's with me now. Sir, welcome back. Good morning to you from the North Lawn at a very busy White House today. Here is Alma Adams, represents North Carolina. Democrat says they don't want you there. Go ahead and roll this.
Total disregard for the citizen, the people, those of us who represent Charlotte. So I'm not surprised that they did not coordinate. Border Patrol did not coordinate with. They want to come in, they want to sneak in. Well, they said they were coming. They just didn't tell us what they were going to do, where they were going to be, and that kind of thing. So we really did not have, and that's why citizens are up in arms.
Go ahead and answer that, Mr. Homan, sir, if you could. She says total disregard for the people of her community.
No, she needs to understand we're enforcing the law. I mean, what other federal agency does she think should not enforce laws? We're taking public safety threats out of her community every day, which makes her community safer. You think she'd be hand in hand with us and thanking President Trump for focusing on the worst of the worst, prioritizing those public safety threats, those child rapists and murderers and others. So we're going to keep doing it. She can dislike it all she wants. We'd like her to be a partner and come and work with us on it, but if she doesn't want it, stand inside and watch us do your job.
In Charlotte, that operation continues in Charlotte, right? You're still operating there?
Yes.
Okay. Chicago's been an issue. I know you're well aware of it. We just put up some numbers from Houston, Texas. I just want to go back to that because during the government shutdown, this did not get a lot of attention. The numbers, however, are staggering, all right? The mayor in Charlotte's a Democrat. The mayor in Houston's a Democrat. Is the mayor in Charlotte cooperating? Or are we seeing numbers the way we are in Houston because there is cooperation from that mayor in Texas?
No, what happened in Houston was a fantastic operation. I actually went out there and kicked that operation off. And I mean, the first day, I can't tell you how many child rapists. I mean, the worst of the worst to me is a child rapist. How many of them we arrested the first day? I think 9 were arrested the first day. But we're going, regardless of Republican or Democratic city, we're going to enforce our laws across this country and take those public safety threats off the street, Bill. But I'll say this, I've said it from day one. Sanctuary cities, we're flooding the zone because we know they're releasing public safety threats into communities every day. That's where the biggest problem is, and that's where we're sending the majority of the agents.
Okay, let me ask you this, the distinction between San Francisco and some other cities. Apparently, a lot of local leaders in San Francisco approached the administration and said, we can do this on our own, we can do it a better way. There's now reporting that New York City will make a similar appeal. What do you know about that?
Well, I can tell you that President Trump and me talked about San Francisco, and I actually spoke to the mayor of San Francisco, and he goes, look, let my law enforcement, my leadership, let us see what we can do within our own government agencies here, and give us a chance. And you know what? He stepped up, and much of his law enforcement is doing the right thing. Even though they're sanctuary city, they're taking some actions against the worst of the worst. We'll see it, we'll monitor it, and as I talk to the president, we'll monitor the success. If we think we need to go in, then we'll have a discussion about going in. But New York City, I plan on being in New York City in the near future. We're going to do operations in New York City. We know in New York City, me and Mayor Adams at one point had an agreement to let ICE into Rikers Island so we can arrest the public safety threats and the safety and security of that facility. But the city council shut it down. So we're going to be coming to New York City. We're already there now. I mean, teams are there now. But we will increase the enforcement presence in New York City, again, because they're a sanctuary city, and we know we have an issue there with public safety threats hitting the street every day.
With that answer, is there a distinction between what's happening in San Francisco and what can or will happen in New York?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think the president said last night, if the mayor of New York City wants to come and talk about making the streets safer, open up for discussion. I'm willing to meet with anybody. President Trump's willing to meet with anybody. But let's get together and work it together. We much rather work with these sanctuary cities than keep, putting our agents at extreme risk, going out in the community and arresting public safety treatment. They could have arrested them in the safety and security of a jail. So we welcome any conversation. But if they don't want to assist, they want to keep, pushing back and impeding our efforts, then we're going to just send more teams there. We're going to flood the zone.
Last question here. Apparently an illegal alien from Uzbekistan was arrested driving an 18-wheeler in the state of Kansas. Illegally entered in February of 2023 and wanted in his own country for belonging to a terrorist organization. What do we know about this, or what do we need to know about him?
Bill, you and I talked the last 4 years. I've done your show, a million times. I said the Biden administration was lying to the American people, and they said everybody they released in the country was properly vetted. They weren't. I talked to several whistleblowers, and Border Patrol said they were forced to release people quickly so there wasn't overcrowding, so they can say nothing to see here, no border secure. They released them before vetting even came back from the FBI. And as you know, most terrorists in this world, you can't find in any database unless they're on the battlefield and had a retina scan done by DOD, unless they're part of a T3 investigation. We don't know who all the terrorists are. That's why they should have detained them as required by federal law. Federal law says if you enter the country illegally without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about, not release them to an NGO. You shall be detained. And that's what President Trump's doing. Most secure border in history in the nation right now because we're following federal law.
Okay, Tom Homan, we will speak again. The borders are at the White House. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.